Hi, I'm Vance, and welcome to Repair and Replace. If your dishwasher runs, but the dishes are not cleaning properly, then it could be one of several problems. In this episode, first, we'll learn how it all works. Then, we'll do some initial checks. Finally, we'll see how to test the heating element, limit switch, and circulation pump. Thank you to Frigidaire for sponsoring this video. Let's begin. Most dishwashers work in the same basic way. It's a tub with a spray arm that showers your dishes with water. There's an element to heat the water, a pump that circulates and sprays it, and another pump that drains it. By combining these simple components in different ways, the machine creates its various wash cycles. Let's take a look at a typical pre-wash, main wash, and rinse cycles. When you start a program, a pre-wash begins. First, the drain pump runs to clear any dirty water from the sump basin. Next, power is sent to the inlet valve, which fills the tub with warm water. This cycle does not use detergent and is usually heated only through the hot water supply. Once it fills, the circulation pump forces the water through the spray arms. The spinning is driven by the water pressure. This washes away any large food particles. Next, the drain pump runs to purge the dirty water. During the wash cycle, the tub fills with water again. For a high temp or heavy wash setting, the heating element will raise the water temperature to improve cleaning performance. Next, the dispenser releases the detergent, which dissolves into the water. The circulation pump runs and sprays the dishes. This will run for up to an hour. Then the drain pump clears the tub. Next is the rinse cycle. The tub will fill and the dishes are sprayed again. Rinsing, and on some models added heat, help remove any remaining residue. Finally, the tub is drained and the dishes dry. If the circulation pump is starting to fail, then it will reduce the spray pressure. Additionally, a faulty heating element will also reduce the cleaning performance. A faulty limit switch can also prevent the element from heating. Using a multimeter, components can be tested for continuity. A successful continuity test proves that electricity can pass through the circuit. Without continuity, the component will not work and will need to be replaced. To begin, you might need a screwdriver or nut driver, pliers, and a multimeter. You might also need channel lock pliers, an adjustable wrench, and a socket set. Keep in mind, there is some variation between models, and not all dishwashers will have the same parts. You can enter your model number on the AMRE Supply website. This will bring up a model breakdown with the exact replacement parts listed on the side. Before anything else, confirm that the machine is actually washing. Start a cycle with an empty dishwasher. Let it run for 5 minutes. When you open the door, check for a wide spray pattern and a wet upper rack. If the walls are dry, the spray arms haven't moved, and water is just sitting in the bottom, then it's likely an issue with the circulation pump. If there's too little water in the tub, then it's likely an issue with the water inlet valve or the float switch. You can see how to troubleshoot this in the video linked below. You can check to see if the dishwasher is heating by running a normal wash cycle. When it's done, Open the door and check if the interior feels warm. Depending on the model, the heater may run during the main wash or final rinse, or only on a high temp, sanitize, or heated dry setting. A failed heating element on some models can result in greasy dishes and poor cleaning performance. You may also notice that the detergent is not fully dissolving. When the dishwasher is finished cleaning, it will purge the system. If there's water in the tub, then it's a sign that it's not draining properly. You might also notice the water is murky. If the filter is blocked, then it can spray dirty water back onto the dishes. You can see how to troubleshoot this in the video linked below. Inspect the spray arms. If they are damaged or if the nozzles are clogged, then it will prevent some of the dishes from cleaning properly. In this case, you'll notice that dishes on one rack are not getting clean. You can see how to replace the spray arms in the video linked below. First, shut off the breaker to disconnect the power. In some cases, you can unplug the dishwasher. Now shut off the water supply valve. This should be located under the sink. It's also a good idea to wear cut-resistant gloves, as there can be some sharp edges. To access the components, you'll have to remove the dishwasher from the cabinet. These steps may vary depending on your model. Loosen the clamp to remove the drain hose from the sink. If there's a spring clamp, then you'll need to use pliers. Now feed the hose through the cabinet. Unscrew and remove the lower access panel. Next, unscrew the water supply line from the inlet valve. In some models, the valve is located in the back and is only accessible once you remove the dishwasher. Unscrew the cover to the junction box. Next, remove the wire nuts. Now unscrew and remove the ground wire. Unscrew the strain relief. Now remove the wires. Open the dishwasher door and remove the mounting bracket screws. You might need to adjust the leveling legs to lower the dishwasher. Now carefully slide the dishwasher out. To avoid scratching the floor, you can put a flat piece of cardboard or a drop cloth under the legs. Now tilt the dishwasher onto its back. If your model has a bottom pan, then you'll have to remove it. Remove any mounting screws. Now release any mounting tabs. Next, lift off the bottom pan. If needed, disconnect any wires. The thermostat can be tested in place while it's still mounted. First, disconnect the wires. Set your multimeter to the resistance setting. Touch each probe to each terminal. There should be a resistance reading between 0 and 1 ohm. If there is no continuity, an infinite reading, or a resistance in the millions of ohms, then the thermostat has failed and will need to be replaced. You can see more in the video linked below. In all models, you can test the element from the bottom. First, disconnect the wires. Set your multimeter to the resistance setting. Touch each probe to each terminal. there should be a resistance reading of 10 to 30 ohms. If there is no continuity, an infinite reading, or a resistance in the millions of ohms, then the element has failed and should be replaced. Additionally, you can test to see if the element has shorted to ground. Test between one of the terminals and any shiny metal of the dishwasher frame. If there's continuity or a reading greater than 0 ohms, then the element has shorted to ground and should be replaced. You can see how to replace the heating element in the video linked below. We can test the pump motor while it's still mounted in place. It's always best to take a picture of the wires for reference. Now disconnect the wires. Set your multimeter to the resistance setting. Touch each probe to each terminal. If there's more than 2 terminals, then you'll have to test each pair. There should be a resistance reading of 10 to 100 ohms. You might get a different reading between each pair. If there is no continuity, an infinite reading, or a resistance in the millions of ohms, then the pump has failed and should be replaced. Some circulation pumps have additional terminals for a built-in heater. These will have a resistance reading of 10 to 30 ohms. A continuity test will only show if the pump has failed electrically. It's still best to check to see if there's anything jammed or blocking the impeller. If the pump has failed the continuity test or does not spin freely, then it's best to install a new one. You can see how to replace the pump in the video linked below. First, feed the drain hose into the sink cabinet. Gently slide the dishwasher into place. If necessary, adjust the leveling legs. Tighten the screws to secure the dishwasher to the countertop. Now connect the drain hose and tighten the clamp. Make sure that the drain hose has an elevated loop above the connection. This will prevent water from flowing back into the dishwasher. Feed the wires into the junction box and tighten the strain relief. Now connect the ground wire. Next, tighten the wire nuts to secure the wires. Now replace the junction box cover. Attach the water supply line to the inlet valve and tighten it into place. Finally, replace the lower access panel. Turn on the water supply. Next, reconnect the power. Now it's best to test the dishwasher to see if it's working properly. You can start a cycle even without any dishes or detergent. If this works, then cancel the cycle and run a full load of dishes. If you found this episode helpful, then subscribe to our channel. And when you need a replacement part, you can get it online or in one of our AMRE Supply branches. Thanks for watching.